up the hornet's nest. But what happens when a hornet's nest gets stirred up? They all come out, they buzz around, then they go back in, right? I didn't know that they were going to come out and start building more nests and really get aggressive, which is what happened. Yeah, it seemed like, hey, okay, it's going to be.
That is Jocko Willink. In 2003, he was a Navy CL platoon commander at Team 7, and for a stretch of that deployment, his was the only SEAL platoon in Iraq. What he is describing there is an operation his men ran at the very end of their tour. He will not tell you the name of the man they took, but the record of what happened next is public, and it is not quiet.
We were running around in thin-skin Humvees. Yeah. We took the doors off. We'd sit facing outboard, and we had a really good op tempo. We'd do a hit every day, 2 days. I think one time we did 3 or 4 hits in 24 hours. Oh, wow. We did nighttime hits. We did daytime hits. Yeah.
Pretty epic.
It was freaking great.
Did any of the operations go wrong?
The work itself was simple, and he says it was the best job he ever had. Intelligence came down Rhode Irish into his compound. Targets went up on a map. They planned. They drove out blacked out and bumper to bumper in thin-skinned Humvees with the doors taken off. One stretch, they ran 3 or 4 hits in 24 hours. He calls it textbook.
We'd get ambushed. Like when we got ambushed, we would get, RPGs, but we had a couple RPGs go over our convoy. We had a couple hit behind our convoy. We'd get machine gun fire in the back of the convoy. I did have one guy get hit, but it was like a ricochet, and so went into his head, but it was like didn't penetrate his skull.
Oh, I gotcha.
So
then, near the end of the deployment, the tasking changed. For months, coalition forces had been circling one name: Muqtada al-Sadr, a Shia cleric with a militia and a following that ran into the hundreds of thousands. And underneath it, a question nobody had answered. What happens if we take him? Before anyone found out, Jocko's platoon was sent after one of al-Sadr's top lieutenants. 5 hours out, high-level clearance to execute. They captured the man, and they drove back.
Tasked with going after one of Muqtada al-Sadr's top lieutenants. And we did. And the reason that I say the operation was great, we went down. It was like a 5-hour transit. We went down. We, did what we did, which was, again, like great, cool operations. We hit this target. We captured the guy. It was all eyes on. It was like really very, like high level clearance to exit.
Here is what the public record says happened in that same window. On the 3rd of April 2004, the coalition authority ordered the arrest of Mustafa al-Yaqoubi, a senior aide to al-Sadr, on a warrant issued by an Iraqi judge. Roughly 15,000 people came into the streets demanding his release. The next day, al-Sadr ordered his militia to seize the police stations of Naf, Kufa, Karbala, and Sadr City. In Sadr City, the 1st Cavalry Division was ambushed. 8 Americans killed, 51 wounded. 2 days after that, a warrant was issued for al-Sadr himself. Within a week, Iraq saw the widest fighting since Saddam fell. Now, Yaqoubi was arrested by Iraqi police. Jocko never says who his element took or where or on what day. So we are not telling you those are the same operation. Neither is he. What we can tell you is that the thing he describes seeing the following morning, smoke en route mobile, the signals, traffic lighting up, conventional forces in Sadr City getting hit hard is on the record, and it is dated.
Smoke on the, like we could see the, wasn't Route Irish, Route Mobile. Like we could see it from our towers. There's smoke on Route Mobile. And we start looking at the SIGACs, and there was just a bunch of attacks. The guys in the conventional forces in Sadr City really got hit hard. So basically what I'm saying is strategically, that was right at the end of my deployment. Yeah. And so as we're going home, I'm thinking, man, what did we just, unleash? And yeah, it spiraled down from there.
Makes for a good turnover party. Team 1, you got it.
Yeah, Team 1 showed up.
Go back a step, because this is the part that matters. Across that deployment, his intelligence shop had built something. A wall in the Tactical Operations Center, 7 feet tall, covered in target packages. Every man they were hunting, and a line drawn out to everyone he was connected to. Jocko called it the beautiful mind wall. Every couple of nights they took a package down off it. A green circle meant captured. A red circle meant dead.
And we get their friends, and we end up with this wall in my Tactical Operations Center. And I called it the Beautiful Mind Wall. Did you ever see the movie The Beautiful Mind? So at the time, the movie was pretty new. And it was, this guy was putting all these pictures up on the wall and connecting all these dots. And so we built a wall like that, an actual wall that was probably 20 feet long, 7 feet tall, that had all of this target information on it, all the target packages, all who was connected to who. It was awesome. And we would, sure enough, every couple nights, grab one of those target packages off that wall.
2.5 years later, he came back to Iraq, to Ramadi. A friend walked him into an intelligence shop, and on the wall was the same kind of diagram. Same links. Same faces in boxes. Same green and red circles. And standing there, Jocko understood what he was looking at. These were not the same men. That wall had been cleared and refilled for 2.5 years. By his unit, by the Army, by the Marines, by everyone.
And this wall, even though some people have been eliminated, has just been repopulated and repopulated and repopulated and repopulated and repopulated over and over again. And by the way, it wasn't just this unit. Every unit in Iraq was doing this. Every unit in Iraq, Army, Navy, coalition, Marines, everyone was going out capturing bad guys. That's what we were all doing. That was when I walked out of there, I thought to myself, we're going to lose. We're going to lose this war because this is an enemy that just keeps reappearing. And it's playing whack-a-mole. And I went back to my Tactical Operations Center that night, and
he says he walked out of that room thinking, we are going to lose this war because this is an enemy that just keeps reappearing. He called it whack-a-mole. That night, back in his own operations center, he remembered hearing that a new counterinsurgency manual was being written. So he Googled it. He found a draft, downloaded it, and sat and read the thing. Open source. It was the field manual General David Petraeus had overseen, and one line in it rearranged everything.
I had heard that there was a new counterinsurgency manual that was coming out, and I Googled it. And there was a draft version that I downloaded and sat there and read.
Open source?
Open source. And FM 24.3 or whatever, but counterinsurgency. And it was the one that General Petraeus had overseen the writing of. And what it says is that the decisive terrain in the battle for an island is this mountaintop, or it's this airfield, or it's this beachhead. The decisive terrain in a counterinsurgency is the people. You have to win over the people. And so as I read that, I thought to myself, okay, this is the decisive terrain is the people, and we need to, what it says in the manual is secure the populace. Now, I immediately started talking with my commanding officer, like, hey, we got to secure the populace. And he was kind of like,
in a conventional battle, the decisive terrain is a hilltop, an airfield, a beach. In a counterinsurgency, the manual said, the decisive terrain is the people. Secure the populace. He had spent 3 years taking men down off a wall. The wall was never the terrain. Full episode with Mike Ritland, linked below.